Antikythera, the ancient computer from a shipwreck. Imagine divers entering a wreck near the Greek island of Antikythera around the beginning of the 20th century. They are not looking for a computer. They are looking through a dangerous underwater time capsule, statues, cargo, fragments, and the remains of a vessel that sank more than 2,000 years ago. Among the objects is something ugly at first glance, a corroded lump of bronze and wood. It does not look like a treasure. It looks like damage. But that damaged object would become one of the strangest artifacts ever recovered from the ancient Mediterranean. Today it is known as the Antikythera mechanism, and researchers often describe it as an ancient geared astronomical calculator. Popular culture sometimes calls it the world's first analog computer. That phrase can be useful, but it needs caution. It was not a laptop, not electronic, and not programmable in the modern sense. The deeper point is more unsettling. Ancient engineers built a compact machine that used gears to model cycles in the sky. The shipwreck is usually dated to the 1st century BCE, and the mechanism itself is often placed in the late 2nd or early 1st century BCE. Exact details remain debated, because the object is fragmentary. It was crushed, corroded, and hidden inside mineral buildup for centuries. But X-ray imaging, computed tomography, inscriptions, and gear analysis have revealed enough to change the way many people think about ancient technology. Inside the fragments are precision gear wheels. Teeth mesh with teeth. Ratios translate one kind of motion into another. Turn a handle, and the mechanism could display astronomical information through pointers and dials. The surviving evidence suggests links to the solar year, the lunar month, eclipse cycles, calendar systems, and possibly the known planets. Some reconstructions include front displays for the sun and moon, back dials for the Metonic cycle and Saros eclipse cycle, and inscriptions that function almost like an instruction manual. That is the first mind-blowing detail. This was not just a pretty object. It encoded knowledge. A gear ratio is not only metal, it is mathematics made physical. If a wheel has one number of teeth and drives another wheel with a different number, the machine can reproduce a cycle. Ancient astronomers knew that eclipses and lunar phases followed patterns. Ancient mechanics found a way to put those patterns into bronze. The second detail is how much of the original machine is missing. Researchers are not holding a perfect device with every dial labeled. They are working with fragments, shadows, tooth counts, damaged inscriptions, and comparisons to ancient astronomical knowledge. That makes the story more scientific, not less. The Antikythera mechanism is not solved by one dramatic guess. It is reconstructed through careful constraints: what gears survive, what spaces are available, what inscriptions say, what cycles ancient Greeks used, and what arrangements are mechanically possible. One famous breakthrough came when advanced imaging allowed scholars to see details that were invisible on the surface. Hidden inscriptions and internal structures became readable. The object stopped being only a museum mystery and became a technical puzzle. Researchers could count gear teeth, infer missing wheels, and compare mechanical outputs with cycles such as the Metonic cycle, a 19-year relationship between lunar months and solar years, and the Saros cycle, associated with eclipse prediction. Think about what that means. A person using the mechanism may have been able to rotate a knob and watch time unfold as pointers moved across dials. This was a hand-cranked model of celestial order. It turned invisible cycles into visible motion. In an era without telescopes, satellites, or digital screens, someone built a mechanical interface to the cosmos. The third detail is the cultural setting. The ancient Greek world inherited and developed astronomy from many traditions, including Babylonian observations and mathematical cycles. The mechanism may represent a meeting point between observational astronomy, geometry, craftsmanship, and elite education. It was probably not a mass-market object. It may have been a luxury instrument, a teaching device, a prestige object, or a practical calculator for calendars and predictions. We should not pretend we know exactly who owned it or why it was on the ship. But its existence proves that the knowledge and craft were real. There is a reason this artifact feels almost out of place. Many people imagine technological history as a smooth staircase: simple ancient tools, then medieval machines, then clocks, then modern science, then computers. The Antikythera mechanism breaks that mental timeline. It shows a spike of mechanical sophistication much earlier than expected. Complex gearing existed in antiquity, even if similar devices rarely survived. Why did almost nothing like it remain? Part of the answer is material survival. Bronze was valuable. Old metal could be melted down and reused. Delicate machines break, corrode, and disappear. Shipwrecks can destroy, but they can also preserve accidents. The Antikythera mechanism may have survived precisely because disaster buried it in the sea. Another part is historical continuity. Knowledge can be lost when institutions collapse, trade changes, texts disappear, workshops vanish, and apprenticeships break. Technology is not guaranteed to advance in a straight line. It depends on communities that remember how to build, repair, teach, and fund complex objects. A sophisticated device can exist, then become rare, then vanish from ordinary memory. This is where the mechanism becomes more than a gadget. It is evidence against arrogance. It warns us not to underestimate the past just because the past did not have our materials. Ancient people had fewer tools than we do, but they had eyes, records, geometry, patience, and ambition. They watched the sky because the sky mattered: calendars, agriculture, ritual, navigation, politics, and the rhythm of public life. The machine also shows the power of abstraction. An eclipse is not a gear. The moon is not a pointer. A calendar is not a wheel. But a mind can map one system onto another. That is what computation does at its core: represent something complex in a form that can be manipulated. In that sense, the Antikythera mechanism feels eerily modern. It is a model, a display, a calculator, and a story about translating the universe into machinery. Modern reconstructions are still debated. Researchers do not all agree on every gear placement or every display. Some proposals are elegant but uncertain. Some missing pieces may never be recovered. That uncertainty should be part of the wonder. The artifact is powerful not because every question is closed, but because the surviving evidence is already extraordinary. The front of the device likely showed the zodiac and calendar information, with indicators for the sun and moon. The back included spiral dials associated with longer cycles. The inscriptions appear to describe astronomical events and functions. A small sphere or display may have shown lunar phases. Gear trains may have handled the moon's irregular motion with surprising cleverness. Every layer suggests a builder who understood both sky cycles and mechanical constraints. Now picture the ship. The mechanism was traveling with statues and valuable cargo. Was it being moved as loot, trade, a gift, or private property? We do not know. The sea took the answer. But it also gave us the clue. A storm, a wreck, a loss, and then centuries later, a fragment that forces a new question: how many other brilliant devices disappeared without leaving even a trace? That question is the real brain Unbound twist. The Antikythera mechanism is not only an ancient computer. It is a warning about the archive of history. We build our picture of the past from what survives, but survival is random and unfair. Stone temples survive better than wooden workshops. Gold survives better than instruction manuals. A shipwreck can preserve what a city would recycle. So when one impossible-looking machine appears, it may not be the only one that existed. It may be the only one lucky enough to be found. The device also changes how we think about intelligence. Intelligence is not measured only by electricity, silicon, or modern industry. It can appear as a craftsman filing bronze teeth, an astronomer tracking lunar months, a teacher explaining cycles to a student, or a workshop turning theory into a handheld cosmos. That is a different kind of advanced technology, not digital, but deeply conceptual. If you held a reconstructed version and turned the handle, you would not just be moving gears. You would be touching a chain of ideas across 2,000 years. Observations become numbers. Numbers become ratios. Ratios become gear teeth. Gear teeth become motion. Motion becomes a prediction. And prediction becomes power, the power to make time feel less chaotic. The Antikythera mechanism does not prove that the ancient world was secretly modern. It proves something more interesting. The ancient world was ancient and brilliant at the same time. It had limits, gaps, and lost knowledge, but it also had peaks of skill that still make engineers, historians, and astronomers stop and stare. So the next time someone imagines history as primitive people waiting for modern minds to arrive, remember the corroded bronze from a Greek shipwreck. Remember that it carried a mechanical model of the heavens. Remember that the past does not always announce its intelligence with polished surfaces. Sometimes it looks like a lump of wreckage until the X-rays go through it. And then the machine begins to speak. Not with a voice, but with teeth, ratios, cycles, and the quiet message that human curiosity has been trying to compute the universe for far longer than we like to admit. If this made history feel stranger and smarter, subscribe to Brain Unbound.